the vibes. They doubted me hard. I kept my face calm. Old hearts, white coats. Now I'm stepping through strong. Chemistry lab on my sleeve. Smoking all on the green. I finally got buzzer on the line. Let's go. Watch me turn it to cash. They said I was nothing. I heard it all clear. Now they want front row. Now the moment is here. The famous Davis show. The famous Davis show. Linked up with Buzzer at the buzzer. Watch the whole room glow. They doubted me, but here I am. They doubted me, but I'm the man now. New era on deck, new name on the wall. Same hand, same hunger. Now they calling my phone. From the chemistry lab to the top of the map. Every eye on the kid when I'm stepping like that. They said I was nothing. I heard it all clear. Now they want front row. Now the moment is here. The famous Davis show. The famous Davis show. Linked up with Buzzer at the buzzer. Watch the whole room glow. They doubted me, but here I am. They doubted me, but I'm the man now. Look at me now. No more waiting in line. New era, new banner. My turn, my time. The famous Davis show. The famous Davis show. Linked up with Buzzer. Let's go. They doubted me, but I'm the man now.
Can't hear you.
I appreciate you telling me that.
Yeah.
I always have an issue with doing that. Welcome, everybody. Look, this is, I know it's rare, right? The famous Davis show. Early morning tonight. And early morning. I'm your boy, the Chemist, KDotViewz on X. Famous Davis, you can call me that there. Of course. Wow, man, I got me a nice little special guest. And you don't understand. The bulletproof mentality. He's created an impact, all pun intended. This, and my intros are crazy, Steve, but I will tell you this. For somebody, if you want to talk about reinvention, dang reincarnation, but I want to introduce the Boca Raton heavyweight champion. He's going to be set to defend at BRCW Summer Smash on August 16th against who? The rude dude, Matt Riddle, but he ain't fazed by that. We got Steve Maclin in the building. Bulletproof Steve Maclin. Welcome to the show, Steve. Hope you're doing well this early morning.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, hanging out, and it'll be fun to just shoot the shit a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is. And and again, I want to shout out the entire Boca Raton Championship Wrestling promotion.
Nah, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that.
Okay, hey, you got it, brother. Listen, you're the heavyweight champ. You gotta do what you gotta do. But listen, I want to say this because first of all, and I did say it off cameras, we do want to thank you so much for your service. I mean, in dedication to this country as someone, a military family. And then what you've done. I just need to ask about this. I mean, even my father was proud to hear about an event such as Battle for the Brave. I mean, it really brought, for him being real serious and passionate about, his brotherhood and his family. And, he said it was nice for someone that truly was in the trenches, as he likes to say, is really out there giving back. And of course, with Miss Peraza, yourself, your significant other there, and another superstar talent right in there. But what was that like before and again, I know you said off camera, like, you better watch yourself. I know you. And I said, okay, yes, sir. We're gonna keep it.
Yeah, we'll get to Summer Smash. We'll talk about what happened at Battle for the Brave, and it was just a special night for my wife and I to be a part of Tunnel to Towers for about the past almost 2 years now, with being involved with doing their 5Ks, their tower climb, with the Heroes Cup that they do every October for a bunch of hockey. And it's literally NYPD, Secret Service, FDNY. Everybody that has a hockey team comes in, and it's all veteran and first responders that are playing in the games, and then a lot of the NHL All-Stars as well, and the Hall of Famers that way. So it's a lot of fun to be involved with a bunch of that. But then for us to then eventually put on our own event, which was an idea over dinner, and just Josh Lenton came to my wife and I asking if we would want to do a wrestling show, and we said sure. At first we didn't want to, and then after we got done with Heroes Cup, we're like, you know what, why not? What do we have to lose? And I think we showed everybody that we can put on and one hell of an event. Granted, the Rahway Rec Center was hot that night. The crowd was hot, and the building itself, with no AC, and we came into a couple hiccups here and there, but with the AC and the lighting, but then everything kind of worked itself out. The crowd stayed. We had over 750 plus in the building to see the Hardys in the main event, myself in the Battle Royal. You had Rich Swann versus Amazing Red, first time ever. And all this can still be streamed on our YouTube page on Boots to Boots Pod. You can watch Battle for the Brave if you missed out on the event. So yeah, man, it was one hell of a night, and it was a lot of fun, and it was just cool to be a part of, just on the opposite side of the curtain. Even though I still had to perform that night, it was just a lot of fun to kind of just put the pieces where we wanted and kind of just run the show the way my wife and I we saw it in our own vision, and just coming up with ideas for who was going to be on the card as well.
Right. And you know, it was amazing. I mean, it was a collaboration. You know, I know, and it's awful nowadays how people on social media, you can't truly just be a fan of the sports of professional wrestling because, oh, you like this too much, you like that, oh, you're just a weirdo, you're a fan, you're a fanboy this. But it was nice to see a collaboration, just genuine for not only a cause, but you could just see the passion and the love. Everyone, from what I was watching too, everyone looked like they had a wonderful time. Not just the crowd, but the talent. And sometimes is that always expected? Not all the time, but when it is, you know, when you see the crowd matching that same energy as the talent, you just know it was a very successful show. And I just know with confidence in myself that I could see another one around the building sometime.
Possibly. It has already been taught. We're already in the talks of it. So hopefully by we'll do it as an annual thing every year. Hopefully, if that still continues. Don't want to be running shows every week. That'd be a little too much on the plate. Still being an active wrestler. But for me, it was a lot of fun. It was a cool moment to just kind of create and have family and friends there that I grew up with in high school, and then even a bunch of military vets and first responders being in the crowd, and having the opening ceremony go off the way it did with the bagpipes and the national anthem being sung, which is just beautiful. And for people just accepting what we were kind of bringing to light for what Tunnel to Towers Foundation does. And that's bringing smart homes, taking care of our homeless veterans, taking care of our first responders' families if they lose a loved one, where they pay off their mortgage right away. And now they're doing college tuition as well for their children that are left behind. And so to be just able to kind of be able to put the foot forward on that and kind of help into our world of pro wrestling, and kind of really drive what T2T means to my wife and I, and then also just to what everybody else.
Yeah, you know, that's when I talked to my father too. It's like, you know, I think if there is another event like this, I definitely want to reach out to Steve because, you know, I want to be, you know, a sponsor of this. This is something that, you know, I do believe in as a passion, and especially the cause. And again, for someone like you who's actually been able to meet and just veterans from all walks of life, some that are probably living the best of life, and some that, hey, look, it hasn't been the best of times for me, you know, ever since I came home. But just to know that there's someone out, and it's not a promotion, this isn't a publicity stunt. This is just passion. This is just for what you believe in and what you love. And again, that's exactly why, even though you're not gonna do this every week, but this is exactly why I feel like this is something that's gonna be a very long tradition for years to come.
No, and wrestling has always been an escape for me as a kid and then growing up. And a lot of people, when you're coming to a wrestling show, you're just trying to forget about the outside world. And that's also the benefit of you're coming in, and you clear out all the noise and the BS that's going on in the real world, and you're focused in on what's happening with the two competitors or four competitors, however many in the ring. And you just get lost in it. And that's kind of what we wanted to bring to the world of pro wrestling, is like with so much animosity and polarizing politics in the world, it's just like, no, like we're all coming together as one, watching pro wrestling and something that we love.
And yeah, and I'm glad you brought up politics because that's exactly what it feels like as a fan. It's like If you say you're, a TNA fan, WWE fan, AEW fan, it does not matter. It feels like, my goodness, you're going this certain party, and it's like, geez, I just, what happened to the game that we love, and I get it. Social media, it's got gave a
Everybody,
lot of people.
everybody feels they have a voice now and a power, and it's awesome
Yes,
to know. Though it's good for the wrestling world because it's just constantly something new every day. Wrestling's on every day of the week,
yes,
and
yes.
for talent, myself, like I love it because there's so many different places to work and opportunities to pop up, and it's kind of like having the territories back in a way. But now it's just multiple companies, and it's better for the talent. It's better for the fans. I wish more fans would just kind of be patient when they see something and not be so over criticizing of certain storylines and stuff. Because a lot of the times it's out of control and somebody else making those decisions.
Right. And I want to talk about something. A lot of people like to use the word reinvention, restructure, rebuild. Usually, sometimes that's on teams where you're rebuilding, but you're the epitome of that. When it comes to, it seems, knowing how to rebuild yourself. Like, look, we get it. A lot of people, they'll want to bring up, oh yeah, the short tenure in WWE, this and this, but it's not even about that. It's how you rebuilt yourself, how you reclaimed your status in your moment, in your spotlight, because you deserve that after your passion, the energy. And again, I, I'm not doing this because he's the heavyweight champ now. And he could probably put some moves on me. I'm not doing that. This is just authenticity. But sometimes reinvention is not only rare, but it's pretty difficult, in my opinion, in this business. From seeing people that try to reinvent themselves, hey, it sometimes works and sometimes it just falls by the wayside. And dang, I thought it was. But with you, Steve, you are a different animal, in my opinion. A
Well,
lot
thank
of
you.
people thought, Steve Maclin needs to be attached to a 3-letter word in some kind of way, shape, or form. But you rose out of that fire. You rose out of that, rebuilt yourself to a machine to where it's like, shoot, I'm at a point where I can say proudly, I'm in demand now, where I can control my destiny, where I know the next move, the next step that I make is going to be coming to fruition and blessings for me. It's going to be for my family. And that's rare. And I just wanted to give you your props on that, because a lot of times it could be and again, I don't know half that business, let alone how you're in this, but I can tell it can be a struggle, especially now dealing with social media. Like I said, everybody has a dang voice now.
Yeah,
Gossip
and
this.
let them have their voice, and I'm very lucky and grateful for the time I had in WWE for the 7.5 years I was there within NXT, and then getting called up to SmackDown during COVID time frame, and then the 5 years that I just got done with wrapping up with TNA. And listen, I've worked television pretty much my entire career, and that's what I strive to do when I got into pro wrestling, was to be on television, make money, and enjoy my craft and perfect my craft. And nothing ever happens overnight. And they always say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And it truly is a marathon. And things happen for a reason. Things you don't understand why they do, and you always question it. Obviously, you're praying or whatever you're going to out of faith and just trying to figure things out. But a lot of the times, things kind of do work out the way that you want them to. And I'm very lucky right now that I'm in the graces of being able to do what I want to do for once in my career, where I don't have to be tied down to a company right now. But who says you don't know where I'm going to pop up at any moment? So that's the fun part about the independent thing and being a free agent. So it makes the fun world of wrestling where you can show up anywhere.
Yeah, and that is, and like you said it earlier, it's like bringing up the territories all over again, because you just never know. And it was those fun times where you could see someone pop up on a certain promotion one week, but then the next week and you know what, like you said, that's just the beauty of being independent, because you control your destiny. I don't. A lot of people understand. We are, on our show here, we're a man of faith. And so, when you talked about faith there, I can tell. And shout out Jeremy Camp, by the way. You have to walk by faith and not by sight a lot of this time. And a lot of people, when they just, I mean, and I get it, we're human, but walking by faith and not by sight. Like, can you give us some examples? As look, I looked at that flyer, I looked at the BRCW. We're gonna get to that, but like, I just see it's not just 3-letter promotions. There's promotions and brands all over this country that see you as the man. this is the man that can hold our brand here.
I think it's just how you approach everything in life and how you go about things. And I used to be very critical and negative towards a lot of things where I didn't get what I wanted when I first started out, like anybody in any career. You want the most out of everything and you want to get that golden goose egg right at the end of the tunnel. And it's just, what are you going to do? Are you willing to put in the work and the miles and the hours and just you're putting so much into this business and the outside of what we do in a wrestling ring that's usually from an 8-minute to 15-minute match most of the time, where you're getting those 8 to 15 minutes, but there's so much more that goes into those 8 to 15 minutes for a talent. And for me, it's having the faith that things will work out. My wife and I are very faithful in that. Like, we just kind of like, all right, what do you got for us, God? Like, what are you planning for us today? Like, what task or what obstacle are you going to put us through? And that's the fun part of life, and how you approach it is just like, all right, cool, take it as it comes, and then take the good from it and take the bad from it as well when you do all those lessons.
And I can see that's why you're getting those. You and Miss Deanna have those blessings that are being bestowed upon you. I mean, like abundant, abundant amount of blessings, and it's more than well deserved. You know, one thing, you know, when I was obviously getting to know your story, people that were around you, there was 2 words that really always stood out. It was humble and it was loyalty. That you have a passion for just being loyal, just being a good brother, a good friend to just anyone. Like, if since you have been that person for others, who was that? Who were those people for you in this business as you were, you know, maneuvering through?
I say all of my peers and my friends. Like, I've treated everybody equally, and I treat them. The one lesson I got taught when I got in the world of pro wrestling was don't date in the business. I failed that. But then number 2, well, the business changed. But then number 2 is treat everybody on the way up as you would on the way down, because you're going to see them all again. And it's just like, why burn bridges? Why leave bad relationships? And like any professional job, like, you're going to not get along with everybody. That's life. Nobody's ever meant to get along with everybody. But it's going out there and being a constant professional, doing what the promoter or the booker is asking of you to do in those moments, and giving them the best available thing. And then we're also going out there to trust one another with our bodies on the line. And that's where I take a lot of respect in knowing that I'm going out there and I'm going to make sure that no matter what, you're safe as possible in that match. And I hope it's going to come out the other end. And I've been in matches where it doesn't work out that way, and you learn who's who, and you just kind of figure a way around it and you make it work. And it's constant being a professional. And that's always what I've strived to do, and I take pride in.
So again, please, I'm only doing my job for BRCW here. Please. Okay, I get it. You know, I just want to know. Well, it was a question from a fan.
That's fine.
Why steal Matt Riddle's moment after defeating Joe Coffey? They felt like he's the heavyweight champion. Is he threatened by this challenger? I mean, he got his victory at Vegas Vacation. I was surprised when when BRCW, when Boca Raton Championship Wrestling sent me that. I was like, whoa. He didn't. He said, you know what? I'm showing up on my screen. He's not even worth showing up in person.
Via satellite. Via satellite. The old via satellite. No, for me, and like I said in a promo that was aired a few weeks ago, or a couple weeks ago, by BRCW on their social media platforms. If you don't follow them, Boca Raton Wrestling, follow them on Instagram and Twitter, or X, however you call it. But I said it in a promo where I just talked about to Riddle, it's just like, you aren't deserving of carrying a brand or a name, because everywhere you've gone, everything you've done, you've been handing opportunity after opportunity and after opportunity. And then you just blow it because you can't control yourself. You can't you can't be a constant professional, like I was just talking about before. You're not reliable in that sense. And yeah, you're one hell of a competitor and a fighter in the MMA world and the pro wrestling world. But at the end of the day, is anybody going to trust you? And for me, that's not a champion. A champion is somebody that you can trust in and confide in, to know that's going to carry the brand and the company.
That you know, agreed on all points. I mean, you sure shine a light on that. So Vegas Vacation, you didn't. Hey, understandable. It was WrestleMania week. You know, everybody's on their hustle, on their grind. But via satellite, you showed up. Honestly, though, from just your perspective, were do you feel like people were supportive of you calling out Matt Riddle, or do you feel like, hey, why did you do that? And my look, I have a co-host who's not here, luckily, because I think this would have went the wrong way, but said, yo, Matt Riddle doesn't deserve this. I said, I'm glad you are not going to be on this show today, but I felt too. I said, look, a Joe Coffey victory doesn't necessarily, over Joe Coffey does not necessarily mean he's ready for the main event spotlight. I need to know what makes you ready for that Boca Raton Championship Wrestling Spotlight. To know that you're carrying that big belt, that heavyweight championship. I mean, I know it's Florida, but you still.
I know that's just it. It's just knowing I'm already there. I'm already the champion. I've strived to be a champion everywhere I go and carry myself that way. And for you to even ask me if I'm ready or what makes me that way, I'm already there, pal.
Yeah.
Like there's more to learn, and every day we grow and learn, and we excel, and we have to find the good and the bad as we get older in life too, for the world of pro wrestling on our bodies. But for me, I constantly, I'm training, I'm working my butt off, I'm sunburnt right now from being outside all day yesterday doing yard work and whatnot, and just keeping busy where I can and keeping focused and staying true to what I want to do in my life for goals and accomplishments. And being the BRCW heavyweight champion right now and carrying that name and that brand for them has been a lot of fun.
I gonna be honest. Is this, and again, if this was old school, are you this kind of heavyweight champion that just, oh my God, I look down upon he wants to be this weed smoker. We'll be honest, transparent. He wants to be the rude dude, the guy. Does it go against everything you as a heavyweight champion stands for? Is that why you called him? I mean, look, I thought honestly they were gonna be gunning for you. I thought it would have been that route, but when you pulled up via satellite, via satellite, it. Some fans felt like you kind of propelled Matt Riddle to a position against the heavyweight champion that he shouldn't have been in. I'm just,
Hey, listen, he earned that number one contender spot, beating Joe Coffey, and good on him. And again, I'll take on any competitor that wants to fight me or wrestle me. Either way, it's what it is in the world of pro wrestling. And I'm gonna be me. He's gonna be him. If he wants to be a rude dude, then that's Matt. I know Matt. I've known Matt long enough. We both grew up in the world of pro wrestling at the same wrestling school, Monster Factory in Paulsboro, New Jersey. We both started out and got our grassroots there. So it's kind of a full swing of things, like a complete story arc, where now it's here we are going into a match in Boca Raton for the heavyweight title, and both of us on complete different sides of our career too.
and a lot of people, and I'm not gonna go into that. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, ask about TNA. It's like, no, TNA ain't even the news. I get it. Business is business. I need to know about this dang BRCW thing. I need to know about Boca Raton Championship Wrestling because it started off like that's the real business. Because listen, I get it. Mainstream, say what you want, but he's holding. I'm not even gonna say neon belt. We'll just call it the Floridian style belt. He is holding the Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, and that's Bulletproof Steve Mack. I mean, I need to know, Steve, like what was that decision like? I mean, what was it like? What was it like to have that initial conversation? Like, hey, we would love to bring you in to BRCW. I mean, obviously beforehand, I'm sure you didn't think you were going to be the heavyweight champion at the moment, but what was that initial meeting like? Joining BRCW.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of talent that works down there. The shows run great. It's one of the better indies that's in Florida, and it's I get to travel 3 hours instead of getting on a flight and having to check a bag and everything and have to just constantly travel for 2 days. But here I get to drive and then drive home and sleep in my own bed at night. And it makes it even better of a breeze for me where I can go down there, win a title, and then come right back home and enjoy my day.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. 3 hour drive. Yeah, that makes a hell of a lot of sense there. Okay.
But it's also a lot of fun too, just because my time in NXT and being on the coconut loops, we used to call it, for doing the locals of all the independent show or the live event shows that we did with NXT, like was a lot of fun. We were in Dade City, Fort Pierce, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Lakeland, Largo, Stark, like Winter Springs. Like I've traveled all over Florida to wrestle, and then to now actually have a home in Florida as well, which is Boca Raton Wrestling, and to be the world champion there, it's really cool as at the same time.
So so obviously you talked about NXT. So we have some, like Cesar Bononi. We have Noah Keikoa. Um, did you feel like you was just right at home? I mean, what are they? Because I mean, we get it. NXT. It's a system based, as some folks like to say. It's a little different. But do you like, and for instance, for those two, for the Sons of Boca, do you see a different animal in them now?
Oh yeah,
Compared to,
and you just see the creative freedom in a way too, where it's just like not everybody's going to work out in certain companies. You could be meant for NXT, WWE, but then are you going to work out there? Maybe you're meant for TNA, maybe you're meant for AEW, and vice versa. And so a lot of talent. It's been fun to just kind of be back out on the independent scene for the past few years. And luckily, when working with TNA, I was able to still take independent bookings, which was a lot of fun for me to now still go out there and enjoy the people that I met throughout my entire career and shared locker rooms with and shared the ring with, and to see where they're at in life outside of the world of pro wrestling, personally and professionally, and then also how much better they've gotten in the ring and how they've developed a character and a persona and haven't had that microscope on them of somebody telling them, no, I don't see that for you kind of thing. And then just being themselves. And that's always the cool thing, to just see people just being themselves. And I enjoy that too as well.
yeah, I always thought so. As I was watching the Vegas vacation, I was saying like, wow. I mean, I know. Listen, you're bulletproof, Steve Maclin. You don't need anybody. You got the title around your shoulder, around your waist. You good to go. But I felt if there's any soldiers out there that can truly, truly put in that work that Macklin is looking for, you just know it's the Sons of Boca. As far as I'm just saying, you can just take
Okay.
them around the world. I'm just saying you can take them around the world. And but nevertheless, it just when you have that heavyweight championship on your shoulder, around your waist, it not only represents that you're one of the best out there, if not the best, but you're a leader. You're like, as they like to say, you're the quarterback. You're the option one player. Um, we need to know. I mean, we get it. We know we're gonna probably hear same answers, not from you, but like as others like to say, I'm just happy to be there and everything. But for your culmination of your story, of your journey, to be able to claim that Boca Raton heavyweight championship, what was that feeling like to be able to claim that? Hoist
That
that
was
up
great.
above.
Just like any other title I've gotten, whether it was world champion in TNA, the first time ever TNA international champion, which I was 2 times, and then claiming a Boca Raton heavyweight championship. It's just collecting belts where I can. And it just shows where I go, people have that faith in me, and the promoter sees what obviously television companies see that I've worked for, where it's just like you can confide in this person, trust in this person. And again, at Summer Smash, you have me versus Matt Riddle, who I think is someone that you can't confide in, to trust and to be able to carry that weight and that burden. So for me, it means everything to just
Yeah.
kind of go in there, and I know I'm ready for a fight.
If the worst nightmare happens at Summer Smash, August 16th, Misner Park, and Boca Raton, by the way,
Yeah.
like, I
Listen, you can't win them all. You
yeah,
can't sit there and have doubt. I'm going in with every bit of confidence that I'm going to come out the winner and still the Boca Raton heavyweight champion. But I know at the end of the day, it takes that 1 second or that one tap out and that painful
yeah.
thing. And for me, I know I won't tap out. I'll never quit on anybody. So you have to physically beat me.
I and again, if it happens, is this like, oh God, may God help us all in Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, because the real dude is holding this championship. A lot of people, we've had some backstage meetings in our show and say, guys, Boca Raton Championship Wrestling can literally be on the verge of a curve vision that you just never expected, a detour, as you like to say.
Mhm. Yeah, it
And
just like I said, any given day, any given night, you can lose in a ring. But at the same time, I'm going in there with 100% confidence that I'm going to come out world champion.
um, the rude dude says, from what I got in the quote was, why didn't he show up to Vegas sooner? I was right there the whole time. I made light work of Joe Coffey. In my opinion, it was a great match. I don't know about light work, but I understand, that's your match. But hey, why didn't he show up to Vegas? I was here.
Why did I need to?
That's what I thought. That's what I was telling them. He's a champ.
If
Y'all
they can
gotta
ask
go.
me to be there via satellite or on YouTube, however they want me to be up there, it's just like fine. I don't have to get on a plane and get there.
Look, you're the champ. At the end of the day, if you want to show up via satellite, show up via satellite. And that's just my opinion. If you want the champ, you got to go searching for the champ. He don't go searching for nobody else. But
Exactly.
I need to know, if there is somebody, and I'll just say one person, but like a top of your wish list of who you would like to see join Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, and whether that be, you know what, what's that male superstar and that female superstar you would love to see that you felt would be great here?
On the independent scene, I would say Richard Holiday would be a good fit for Boca Raton Championship Wrestling. Richard's been out there just crushing it and killing it on social media and just creating constant buzz around him with his signature move and his. It's just I'm so proud of him for everything he's overcome as well in his career on the male side of things. That'd be my talent. But then for the female, I don't know. Having my wife there would be fun
Yeah,
because then I get to
I would.
travel to work with my wife. That's always the fun part too, no matter what. And my wife's been there every now and then, but it just obviously with scheduling with AEW, sometimes she can't make those dates, and it's been happened where she has been booked, and you're contractually obligated to be somewhere else. You can't. You kind of have to not take those bookings sometimes, so it happens. But yeah, for my wife would be another one there. For us to just run amok here in Florida and be the first couple of
Yeah.
Florida.
What does she say about this upcoming match? I know she supports you just like you support her. That's exactly what, with not only just spouses but best friends. I mean, love. That's what they do for one another. Support each other wholeheartedly. But this is
She pretty much said I wouldn't even give him the time of day, but if go do what you got to get done.
I figured something like that. I
That's my
just
wife.
didn't want to. Yeah, I figured something about. Yeah, he's not even worth it. So okay, you're not gonna tap out. We get it. You're gonna fight to the very end. We get it. But sometimes you end up back on the mat, unfortunately, looking up to the lights. I get it. Um, but we just need to know, as fans of Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, why it's you that you can give the rude dude all this praise and we came up together and everything. Not you. I'm just saying the fans. But like, you're not. Again, you're not shaking. You're not worried. You're bulletproof. I just need to know, when you get into that ring against Matt Riddle, what kind? Damn the Arsenal. But what's that mentality you bring in? And I know sometimes it's always got to be different. It's always got to be different. For me, this one's different because he gave the impression that the champion that got off his throne and went searching for a peasant is what he made it feel. And I thought, no way. Look, man, he's just telling you he's here, and if you want him, come find him. That's how I took it.
Mhm.
But people took it as, why did the king have to get off his throne to go after the peasant? I don't know. That's why we got you, Mr. Maclin, the Boca Raton Championship Wrestling heavyweight champion. What was that? What's that like? I mean, what are you bringing to this, knowing that they said that you got off the throne? We're gonna find him.
I didn't get off any throne. He won a number one contenders match and he earned it. And now here I am. And like he said, and you've just said previously, it's like I didn't show up in Vegas. Yeah, I don't show up for when I don't need to be somewhere. I can say what I want to say, just like I am doing this on this interview. And at the end of the day, I'm showing up. I know what I'm getting into with Matt Riddle. He is very, very good striker. He can mat wrestle. He can wrestle circles around me if he wants to. But I've been there before. I've been in the ring with a lot of people just like Matt as well. And for me to come out of this on top is what I plan to do. And just figure it out as I go. It's kind of how life is. You just kind of just let it work itself out.
Yeah, and almost towards the end of this, I'm a little worried. Not for you. I'm just worried for the state of Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, because I get it. I look at it like Matt's like, oh man, on the personal side, he's like me. But I feel like, oh my God, that'd be like me being a heavyweight champion. And I don't I don't think a brand would want that. But there are some fans that, they're worried. They're worried that, look,
Let them.
it,
Let them worry. It's okay.
you, you're good, you're confident. This is
Yeah.
how you roll. This is look, this is what the trials and tribulations in your journey has built you for. And I know we skipped over and that and I'm perfectly fine with that because at the end of the day, it's about Summer Smash. It's about Boca Raton Championship Wrestling. It's about you defending that heavyweight championship, Mr. Maclin. And if you can give, I guess I'll just say this, if this is like your cheers to like your previous, your family, that's always family, but your previous stop. What are some like, what is a last toast that you can give as as you officially stepped out the door of your previous uh promotion heading into Summer Smash? What's
To give a final cheers, I keep in touch with everybody that I wrestle with all the time, no matter what the locker room, whether it was TNA, NXT, SmackDown,
yeah.
on WWE, like no matter what, that brotherhood and that bond between everybody is there. So for me, they all know how I feel, and we text each other daily and we check in on how everybody's going. And they all knew going through the process. So when I was getting my release, that's kind of the route we went, and that I was going and that I wanted, and a lot of people understood where I was coming from. And so the love and respect I have for the TNA locker room, I have the utmost respect for. And no matter what, they always save that company day in and day out because that locker room just has that heart and that drive no matter what. And that's what I loved about TNA.
And I say that because, again, you're not just at BRCW. Yeah, you're a traveling man. You're a traveling talent. You are you're wanted out there. You're in demand. So a lot of folks are gonna have their say. But in my opinion, when I saw your journey even after the fact, there's just something different about your mentality in Boca Raton Championship Wrestling. I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't know. But when I saw that via satellite challenge that you're ready, even beforehand, I don't know what it is about BRCW, but it feels like this is your jungle. This is your kingdom. I don't know. When you go in there, you're bulletproof times. I don't know what the heck it is. Is it
World
different?
champion.
Is it different mentalities as you walk into different, like from Boca Raton? You were just,
No
hey,
matter
man,
where I go, I always represent myself the way I want to be represented, no matter where I go. And I have fun. I enjoy what I do for a living. I get to go out there and hurt people for a living. It's the best thing in the world. Not many people get to say that and they don't go to jail.
yeah, that's true.
So, and then to be a champion on top of it, that's the one best thing about it. And no matter whether it's BRCW, Pro Wrestling Revolver, my time in TNA, NXT, no matter what, I always go in and give 110% of who I am. And I give as much authenticity that I can of me. And I hope at the end of the day, when fans leave, they understand who I am. If not, they either like me or they hate me. Either way, I got you feeling some kind of way.
That's true because you did have some people. Again, that was a number one contenders match, but you had some people pissed off that why did you have to ruin this moment? Again, I'm not going to bring that up because you're going to handle that on August 16th. I get it. I just know, when we, even spoke with Matt Mania. What is Matt? What is Matt like in regards to running BRCW behind the scenes? Look, some people have said, hey, he's trying to be Vince McMahon, damn it. He's trying to be there. But what I saw from Matt, because we got to have a good hour-long conversation with him, is like, oh my gosh, someone like you with the same mission, just dedicated to his home, dedicated to helping people. Not only is just in his community, but bringing fans great content, making sure talent that are around the area are, hey, look, we're going to make sure we take care of you. If you don't have a home, we're going to make sure we give you a home here. What has Matt been like, as the boss of Boca Raton Championship Wrestling to Steve Mack?
He's been great. The moment that I got my release in WWE, he instantly texted me within about a month just saying, hey, we're trying to run some shows here in Florida, like with BRCW, and it just kind of just started getting the ball rolling on getting the company built up. And he's like, would you mind working for us? I was like, no, that'd be awesome. Like, it's local. I don't have to, like I said earlier, I get to drive about 3 hours, not even that bad of a drive for me, and I enjoy that.
Right.
So to be given the opportunity, and for someone like Matt and Neil, who are behind the scenes, and even Neilio too, like they run everything behind the scenes great. And anytime I come in, it's very professional. I ask what's needed to be done, and we go out and we do it. And they pay me, and then I go home. And that's business. That's the fun part of it. And they've given me an opportunity and a platform to also showcase and hone my craft as well. Because in the world of pro wrestling nowadays, there's aren't many live events. A lot of people just work television. They're not getting those reps outside of television and getting those live events to kind of figure things out, or to just stay fresh in the ring too and getting in front of a crowd all the time. And the only way to get better as a professional wrestler is constantly working in front of a live crowd. You can do all the drills all day and think of where they're going to be or if they're going to be cheering or booing. It's just like you have to go out and experience it.
You do. And then, I just need to know, man. You're the heavyweight champ. I hope they're giving you your own locker room again, don't.
No, I always get dressed with everybody.
There
The
you
locker
go.
room's the locker room. I don't believe in that individual stuff.
There you go. And that, my man, I think not now, but the guest in the future is probably not going to like my next remark. But that is why Bulletproof Steve Maclin, not because he's here on the Famous Davis show. It's just because of his principles, values, and how he presents himself inside that ring, outside the ring. Genuine, authentic, 1,000,000% authenticity. This is why this is the man right here that needs to walk into Summer Smash as the reigning Boca Raton Championship Wrestling Heavyweight champion, and then move forward. Take this promotion, take this brand to levels that we already can see it expand into. But we just need to know. And again, this is not what's next for as in your journey now, but what's for BRCW.
What's next
If you
for
happen to lose that
BRCW?
title, if you happen to lose that title on August 16th at Summer Smash,
Oh, then I work my butt off to get back to winning the title back from Riddle. If he was to beat me, it's a very easy thing. If you lose, you lose. If you win, you win. On to the next one. Just like if you lose, you figure it out and you pick up the pieces, what was good, what was bad, and you learn from it.
that's exactly why I felt like this. You are the perfect representation. It doesn't matter if it's this Boca Raton Championship Wrestling. I mean, the perfect representation of a champion. You brought up something earlier about the Tower Walk. We have one here in San Antonio, in our tower. And not only do we have multiple, for the troops, and then, for 9/11 as well. But you see, like that's what people need to see. Like, you're really out there. You're not just a champion inside the ring. You're just not Bulletproof Steve Maclin. No, you're out there. Look, I was in the service. I'm out here in the military. I'm out here supporting my people. This is the heart of a champion, people. This is the heart of a champion. That's an old saying. I get it. But this is why, in my opinion, and it should be a common sense, is why Boca Raton Championship Wrestling placed that, prestigious title. I looked at it, I said, dang.
Well, they didn't place it on me. I earned it as well.
You
Just
earned
like
it.
anything.
You earned it. You're right. You know what? My apologies. Go and edit. A producer, can you go and edit that part out, please? I don't want. But no, honestly, Steve, I think you've been an absolute inspiration, and I don't mean just for your peers or independent wrestlers who are just on the grind looking to come up, maybe feel those highs and lows, but truly to people like us who have the strong military backgrounds, who are really passionate about that. And again, sometimes I feel like those voices get lost. And sometimes, as far as for fans are concerned. So I just want to say to you, Miss Deanna, your entire crew and brotherhood and sisterhood, we just want to say thank you, because
Thank you.
at the end of the day, not only was it, pretty nostalgic to kind of see, man, growing up and seeing a lot of these talents, but to be able to see my father, like who it really meant something to him. And to people, it's just a YouTube event that you can just watch anytime or whatever the case. but to him it was something like he got to show his fellow brothers, and I just want to thank you because when the brass of BRCW said, hey, we're gonna get the heavyweight champion here, I didn't look at it like, yeah, we're gonna get the champ. This is Steve Maclin. He just came from TNA. No, this is the man. This is the man who's helping, who's just one of the many vessels that's just helping to bring not only unity, but love, support, mental support, financial support to those in need. And again, this is not to kiss no ass because, again, I don't want you to jump through my virtual screen in case I may have said some things, but this is just as a man. I just want to say thank you for being you because your story, not only just inspiring, it really not is just inspiring because it's still progressing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been fun so far, and it's only going to get more fun stacking bodies everywhere I go.
Yeah, and so you said you never know where you're going to end up. So people, I want you to know something.
Stay
Steve,
tuned.
even though they don't know where you're going to end up because you're a free agent, let's talk about where they can find you. How about that?
You can find me on IG at Steve Maclin as well as on X, Boots to Boots Pod on YouTube. We have a new episode coming out this Monday to wrap up season 2, which is really cool. We have a bunch of content on there as well. I know everybody loves when my wife asks me history questions, so she's been uploading some of those to get some of those clips up on our YouTube page to just kind of still stay relevant with the podcast and the times. But yeah. Appreciate y'all. And if you haven't checked out Battle for the Brave yet, it's also on Boots to Boots Pod if you wanted to watch it. And leave a comment, subscribe. Just talk about it. If you have a question, you're going through something in life outside of the world of pro wrestling, and you have a question, just please feel free to ask. We're always here. We're always an open ear.
Yeah, and again, every king has to have their queen. And people, King Maclin has his queen and Queen Deanna. And again, you see y'all together just in your space, and you just see the smile. You just see the happiness. And again, yeah, you're happy to be, together in the business, but it's just behind the scenes, all the culmination in life and your journey through life that's brought you out to this point. It's just blessings upon blessings. And I just want to say, I want to send, again, not only a thank you for your dedication to this country, but I want to send, love and prayers and good vibes to you and Miss Deanna moving forward as y'all venture through, because I know sometimes in this business there could be trying times. It could be trying times where you just sometimes got to just pray and say, Lord, this is where I need you a little bit. The patience is being tested. So I just want to thank y'all.
Thank you.
Boca Raton Championship Wrestling.
Summer Smash.
Woo, y'all, I ain't never done that. Y'all about to make the grown man cry here. Nah, but Boca Raton Championship Wrestling Summer Smash, August 16th, Misno Park. Listen. Not only do we already have the announcement of Harley Cameron challenging the Queen of Spades, Shayna Baszler, for the Women's Heavyweight Championship, the Boca Raton Women's Heavyweight Championship. But we got the main event, Bulletproof, but I like to call him the big dog. Steve, the Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, the BRCW Heavyweight Champion. Steve Maclin with the #1 contender in his sights in the real dude, Matt Riddle. Y'all better be tapped in. The tickets, last we checked, are almost 60% gone. They're probably beyond that now. So be sure to go to Boca Raton Championship Wrestling, the BRCW Florida on X. Man, go to their YouTube as well. Go check out the last Vegas vacation show where you saw Mr. Bulletproof here show up via satellite. Riddle. But of course, Steve, I guess I want to end this show like this for you because, again, I want to thank you so much for your time. But
no, thank you.
If Matt Riddle's looking right now and watching this episode, what do you got to say to him?
I'm ready. I'll see you. I'll see you at Summer Smash, Matt. There's no different how I'm going to act that day of or how I'm going to feel right now. It's like I'm going in with every bit of confidence that I have at the top of my game.
There you go. And this show, it's a wrap. This is the Famous Davis Show, of course, Chemistry Lab Media Group, Sports Jedi Network, Rare Standard, the new brand. Matter of fact, shout out Drew McIntyre for just, getting booked for his new movie that he's got with Russell Crowe. Of course, the Famous Davis Show. You see it right there. Unfiltered fame, raw reality. the slogan was not me. That was not me. I don't know what the slogan is. That's awful. But nevertheless, thank you so much again, Steve Maclin. This has been the Famous Davis show. After the replay, just so you know, Matt, so I work at a corporate media gig. So they said once this interview's done, because they can't do the live stream, but once this interview's done, we're going to go play it on the screens. And we got about 14 floors, and total there's about 5,000 screens, including in our cafeteria. So they're going to be getting ready for some Bulletproof Steve Maclin today. But nevertheless, this has been the Famous Davis show. For Steve Maclin, Bulletproof, the BRCW heavyweight champion, I've been Famous Davis, man. We out the door. Have a great day. And yeah, man, God bless. We out. Let me I'm all bloopers over here. See, I'm all bloopers.
You know the vibes. They doubted me hard. I kept my face calm. Old hearts, white coats. Now I'm stepping through strong. Chemistry lab on my sleeve. Smoking all on the green. I finally got buzzer on the line. Let's go. Watch me turn it to cash. They said I was nothing. I heard it all clear. Now they want front row. Now the moment is here. The Famous Davis show. The Famous Davis show. Linked up with Buzzer at the buzzer. Watch the whole room glow. They doubted me, but here I am. They doubted me, but I'm the man now. New era on deck, new name on the wall. Same hand, same hunger. Now they calling my phone. From the chemistry lab to the top of the map. Every eye on the kid when I'm stepping like that. They said I was nothing. I heard it all clear. Now they want front row. Now the moment is here. The Famous Davis show. The Famous Davis show. Linked up with Buzzer at the buzz. Watch the whole room glow. They doubted me, but here I am. They doubted me, but I'm the man now. Look at me now. No more waiting in line. New era, new banner. My turn, my time. The Famous Davis show. The Famous Davis show. Linked up with